Gio.
BT and Sal.
Kevin and Tiki.
Keith McPherson, your nighttime host on The Fan.
On the fan.
On the fan.
On the fan.
It's WFAN Daily, hosted by Pete Hoffman.
This is now 5 games where the Rangers have lost at home. Like, they have not won at home yet this season. And this is the first time, I think, since like 1940-something. It is bad. And I don't care what people say that, I like what I see in this team right now. They you could see some really good defense. You could see some really good things that are happening. And just, they're not getting in the back of the net, but that'll come. The New York Rangers just put up 5 goals at home in their 5th game at home. They've scored 5. They finally put up 5 goals. They are playing the worst team in the NHL, in the San Jose Sharks. This is the worst team. They have yet to win a game. They've gone to overtime twice. They've got 2 ties. That's what they got. Otherwise, they got Ugats. They got big old zeros, donuts for wins. And the San Jose Sharks just outscored them 6-5 at home. That is disgusting. And let's be serious. The scariest part about this is not that the Sharks scored all these goals, because here's the thing is, the one thing about the San Jose Sharks, they have good young offensive talent. That's something they do have. The thing that scares me about today in this 6-5 loss, who scored the goals? Who scored the goals for the New York Rangers? There was a hat trick by Taylor Raddysh. Raddysh does not score goals. He has one season where he had 17 goals in 78 games. That's about it. He's not a goal scorer. He is not going to Taylor Raddysh is not going to light the lamp many times in the season. He's had 20 goals one time in 2022. Besides that, his highs were last year with 7. In 23, he had 5 goals. In 21, between 2 teams, he had 11 goals. You're talking about a guy who came in here today this season with 1 goal. And he tripled it by adding 3 more. Or actually quadrupled it, I guess. Triple, quadruple, whatever it is. He scored 3 goals. That's the offense. Taylor Raddysh put up a hat trick for the Rangers. Who? Exactly. This is a problem. If you told me Mika got a hat trick, if you told me Panarin had a hat trick, if you told me Lafreniere had a hat trick, I'd say, yeah, that's good. That's what it's expected. But no, let's go through their stats. Let's go through what they did. JT Miller, 2 assists, good for you. Mika Zibanejad, he got a goal. Ooh, okay, that's nice, I guess. Let's go to Adam Fox, 1 assist. Lafreniere, 1 assist. Panarin, 0 points. 0 points. You scored 5 goals, he had 0 points. And then besides that, Will Cully, 0 points. I mean, I'm looking at this team. This is the problem with this team. And you look at Mike Sullivan and he goes, this is not the type of hockey that we want to put out there. Oh, yeah? No crap. And the problem is the type of hockey they're putting out there, it's just not good. They could play a nice defensive game. But let me remind you, the reason why Mike Sullivan was successful in Pittsburgh, 2 reasons. Evgeny Malkin, thinking of Sharks. Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby. Those are the 2 reasons why Mike Sullivan was successful in Pittsburgh. So far, I've seen absolutely nothing offensively. It's stale. There's no creativity. On the power play, there's no creativity. There's barely any pressure. Yes, they're putting pucks on net, but there's nothing. There's no creativity whatsoever. There's no, on a power play, it looks so plain and boring. It used to be worse when we used to sit there and watch the Rangers pass and pass and pass and pass and pass and not shoot. Now it's like, all right, we'll take a shot, I guess, at the top. I guess we'll try to get it low. Maybe we'll just shove it. There's no creativity whatsoever. And it's not like you could sit there and be like, oh, well, that shot was a good goaltending. That's what it was, or a good defense. No, it's the same disgusting play every single game so far. And the concerning part, besides the fact that this team can't score, besides the fact that they can't score, yes, they scored 5 goals versus the San Jose Sharks, who are giving up 4 goals a game. That's what they're doing. They're giving up 4 goals a game. So, yay, the Rangers, they put up some points against the worst goaltending in the league. If they couldn't score today, then like I said, they should blow the whole thing up. But they scored 5 and they still lost. And here's the difference. Alexis Lafreniere. How long has Lafreniere been in this freaking league for? How long has he been in the league for? I'm asking out loud because I can't really remember. It feels like he's been here forever. Let's see. Lafreniere. He's been here since 2020. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is his 6th year. He's 24 years old. It's his 6th season. He's maxed out at 57 points. So he had one season where he had 28 goals. Besides that, 12, 19, 16, last year with a great 17. Okay? And this is what my point is, because I'm going to get to the Sharks here. Macklin Celebrini. Okay? And I'm not telling you that everyone's built the same. But Macklin Celebrini is 19 years old. In 7 games, he now has 11 points. I understand 5 just came versus the Rangers today. But in 7 games, he has 11 points. Lafreniere in 7 games or 8 games, whatever they've played, has 3. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? Do you understand what's going on? Whoever has been drafting players have not been able to figure out how to draft talented offensive wingers, centers. It doesn't make a difference. They can't find offensive players. That's the be-all, end-all. Yes, you were able to trade for Zibanejad a while back. That worked. You were able to get Panarin in free agency. That worked. But there's been no offensively gifted players since Chris Kreider, to be fair. And he's gone now. The Rangers have no one exciting on this team. Will Cully, I'm sorry, 0 points today. Against a terrible San Jose Sharks team, 0 points. That is a problem, okay? You can sit there and say, hey, these other games, whether it was versus Edmonton, it was a tight game. Whether Minnesota, it was a tight game. All these losses at home, you can sit there and try to versus Pittsburgh, it was a tight game up until the empty netters. You could sit there and try and convince me and tell me that this team, it was tight and the defense really played well. Yes, the offense didn't score, but it was a really tight defensive game on both sides, and all it took was 1 goal, and that's the reason why, the Rangers lost. Okay, fine, I'll try to buy into it. But this is the worst goaltending team in the league, and your top young players still can't score, still can't do anything offensively. That's a problem. Matt Rempe tried to get this team fired up. He might have hurt himself. Who knows? I haven't really heard anything at all about Matt Rempe. But the fact is, he tried to get this thing going, and I don't think it really picked up at all. I think that the Sharks are just a bad defensive team, and the Rangers were able to figure out how to put it in the back of the net a couple times and got a little lucky. Now, luck is part of it, but I don't trust this team. And we're talking about a team now who have played at least, what is it? Is it 8, 9 games? Let's see what the record is. 3, 4, and 2. What's the math? Yeah, 9 games. They played 9 games. They've won 3. They've lost 6 games. I don't care. I'm gonna go through this all season long, and you're gonna have to hear this out, because when the Rangers missed the playoffs, and we said to go, oh, the record wasn't really that bad. They had like, it was like 50-50 that they won. No, I am counting every single overtime loss as just a regular loss. So they are 3-6 right now. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, but they lost in overtime. They got a point. My ass. They didn't win the game. And that's the point. That's the goal here. You need to win games. And right now, 3-6 is not good enough. And I talked to some people, talked to Boomer Esiason off air, and he was like, hey, you got to give him 20 games. You got to give him 20 games. You got to give him 20 games. Well, this is almost halfway through 20 games, and right now they look like shit. Okay? They look like pure ass. This is not good hockey right now. And yes, I saw, there was 2 games where they were able to score 10 goals against the Buffalo Sabres, who were terrible, and they went to Pittsburgh and had that revenge game after they got shut out to start the season. Okay, that's it. 2 games. That's all they've really shown up for. This team is flat, like I said, uncreative, and the worst part is, and it's so freaking typical, Shesterkin stands on his head every single game. And the one that he lets down his team, lets down his players, his teammates, they score goals. They score 5 goals, but the defense is so bad, they end up losing in overtime. They give up 6 goals. He's so bad. He gives up 6 goals. It's like this season is going to be a punch to the gut every single game. And I don't know how I'm going to last. If this is just 9 games so far, this, let's be serious, is a bottom dweller team at the moment. They just really are. They look disgusting. You look at the Islanders right now, who I think have won 3 straight. They just won 7-2. Okay? They just beat the Detroit Red Wings, who are 5-2 coming into today. The Islanders just beat the Detroit Red Wings at home 7-2. You know what their young kid? Let's see. What did Schaefer actually didn't put up a point today, which is surprising. But up until then, let's see. Schaefer, their young star player, up until this game, had a point per game. He actually had more than a point per game. Okay? He actually came in with 7 points within 6 games. How about that? Okay? They scored 7 goals versus the Red Wings. They had plenty of secondary assists. Andres Lee had 3 assists. Horvat had 2 assists. Pulock had 2 assists. D'Angelo put one in the back of the net. Barzal, back of the net. Holmstrom, Heineman, Palmieri, Pajot. I mean, listen, they spread the wealth, but the point is, 7 goals, 13 assists. They were getting help from everybody. That's spreading the wealth right there. You're getting 7 goals and you 13 assists. That means you're basically getting 2 assists on every single goal but 1. That means they're passing the puck around. They're feeling it. They're flowing well. This Ranger game was again 5 goals, 7 assists. That means only 2 goals out of their 5 had secondary assists. It's not good. It's not good enough. It's just really not. Again, Shesterkin has played really well. Quick has played really well. And, of course, the one bad game against a bad San Jose Sharks team is the one where, and again, they're bad, but they are actually offensively gifted. I don't know how many goals they score per game, but I do know it's much more than the Rangers. Even though this is their first win of the season, again, first win of the season for the Sharks. It's brutal. And Will Smith, I believe, is younger. Okay, so between Smith, between Celebrini, and between Misa, I believe they're all under 60 years old combined age. Okay? Remember that. Those three guys are all, they can't go out and drink. They can't go out really. I don't even know if they could drive in some states. I really don't know. That's how young this team is. And they just schooled. And this is what I've been saying. The Rangers look slow, look flat. They don't look. I mean, Mika finally got on the board. That's great. He scores a goal. And I'm happy to hear, like, oh, like, how did it feel to score 5 goals? He goes, it means nothing because we didn't win the game. Now, I don't know if that's a sarcastic response because, they're so deadpan, so dry anyway. But the reality is that's the right answer. I just don't know if that's the right tone. Like, hey, it means nothing because we didn't win. Or is it like, hey, the fans don't care. We didn't win, so I could have scored a hat trick, and the fans aren't going to care. Whatever. I had a good game, but doesn't want to overstate it. It doesn't make a difference. This team is playing bad hockey. End of story. Their next trip out, let's see. I don't even know where the next trip is. I don't even want to know. I just can't see how this team is going to rebound. And this might be quick. We're talking about Aaron Glenn with the Jets being like maybe one and done. I mean, Mike Sullivan, if he doesn't figure things out quick, he could be one and done too, which is terrible. But he could really be one and done if this is going to be bad. Hold on, let's see. Okay, let's go through this number real quick. So the Rangers, okay, they've given up. Coming into today was 21 goals. So coming into today, they scored 21 goals and have given up 21 goals. Now that is going to be 26 goals that they've scored, but they've given up 27. Let's see what the Sharks are. This is actually, I'm very curious about this. Again, dead last team. All right, here we go. Actually, no, that was current, 21 and 21. So the Rangers are up to date. So let's see what the Sharks are. 34 goals allowed. They've scored 22 goals. So they've actually had, in one less game, they've scored more than the Rangers. But they've given up 34 goals. I don't know how the Rangers didn't win. I do know, but it's just, how is this team so bad? How is their confidence? And here's the thing. So I said this earlier this morning on X. I said, if the Rangers don't find a way to score multiple goals and win the game, you should just blow this whole thing up with these offensive players that you have. Panarin, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, and I forgot, and JT Miller. Now, obviously, I understand that there is, you can't just go and give players away. And do these players want to be traded? No, if they have the no trade clause, I understand that that's not going to work so well. However, you got to find a way to bench them. You got to find a way to maybe take ice time away from them. Get them pissed off to get them out of here, okay? Because guess what? They did score goals. They scored multiple goals, and they still lost. This team is not a winning team right now, and I don't see any way of them fixing it with what they have. I don't. Not with those players. Zibanejad, Panarin are looking old. I said it from day one, and I feel that way. They are not looking like their normal selves. Maybe they're trying to just relax and kind of pick up some steam for the second half of the season. That's not going to fly if they're winning, 3 out of every 9 games. So, listen, this is not how you want to start a season. And like I said, people said, give them 20 games, give them 20 games. I can't do it. I just can't. I'm watching every game. They look the same. They look stale. And let's see, where's their next game? They are going to, what's today? It's already October 23rd. Oh, the next game, they're going to Calgary. Now, I know Calgary's bad too. I think Calgary's 1-6-1. You know what that means? That means Calgary's going to win, and they're going to shut the Rangers out. That's what that means. Then they go to Vancouver. Then they go to Edmonton. So they're going to go on this 3-game, I wouldn't say gauntlet because Calgary is bad. Vancouver's 4-4. Edmonton, we saw Edmonton already. They're 3-3-1. And then they go play Seattle, who's 3-2-2. Either way, they're playing 4 teams minus one of them being really bad in the Flames. But they're making a road trip. they're going all West Coast, and 3 out of the 4 teams are at least 500 or better. There's a possibility the Rangers go 1-3, which is kind of what they've been doing so far. That's going to be a problem. All right. Enough bitching about this. Let's get to November. Maybe things will change, but it's got to change quick because you've now, and this is again, reminder, Shesterkin just signed that huge extension, and that's going to handcuff this franchise from getting real talent. And that's all they need. They need someone that's going to be able to be the Macklin Celebrini, the Sidney Crosby, the Alexander Ovechkin, the Connor McDavid. You name it. I mean, there's all these skilled goal scorers in the league that have been here forever. The Rangers always tend to miss. Panarin was the closest one to a guy that was just able to light the lamp at ease, since like Jaromir Jagr. And that was a long time ago. So they need to find that guy. They currently don't have him on the roster. A guy who's able to score at will. They don't have that guy. Celebrini scored 3 goals. Don't mind there was one that was kind of like a little deflected and kind of like found its way in. The other 2 were legit. I mean, he is a special player and he's 19 years old. I'm not going to tell you that he's been brilliant his entire career. It's only his second year. But when you go through, let's see, Celebrini, how many goals did he have last year? He had 25 goals in 70 games. 25 goals in 70 games. We're talking about Lafreniere. He's had 120-plus goal season. That's what we're talking about here. You need special players, and the Rangers just don't have it right now. I mean, I can't even say it anymore. There's some guys that you like to see. You like how they're playing. Like Carrick's been playing really well. Don't get me wrong. There's some guys that have been playing really well. But when you got Lafreniere on this team, who's just been so disappointing. Again, 28 goals in 23, and that's been it. 19 goals, 21. We've gone through this already. I don't need to go through it again. It's just actually making me want to vomit. Wow. This team is bad. Get ready for a long season. Again, let's go Knicks. Let's go Islanders. Let's go Devils. I mean, you're talking about the Devils who lost their starting goalie in like the second or third game of the season, and they're still playing well. You're talking about an Islanders team that started off the season. I think they were like 0 for the first few games of the season, and now they've won 3 straight, or now this is 4 straight. Things can happen strange in any sport, but this is consistent so far. In 9 games, the Rangers just up until today at home, they haven't scored on the regular. And even on the road, it doesn't feel easy for them to score. That looks consistent. That looks constant. That's not going to fly for the rest of the season, for the full season. All right. Again, I'm Pete Hoffman. Thank you again for checking me out at Hoff WFAN on social media. I'll be back with BT and Sal tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. if you're watching that live right now. Otherwise, it could be later on today. I don't know. I don't know when you're listening. I don't know when you're watching. I will also be hosting 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. on Saturday morning. And then I'm off to Philly to go watch the Giants and the Eagles as that game will take place 1 o'clock on Sunday, right? I think it's 1 o'clock. I believe it's a 1 o'clock game. I hope it's a 1 o'clock game. That's what I have planned, is a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. And if not, whatever. I'll just adjust as I always do. But there is a little hope for some local teams, like the Knicks won yesterday. That was nice. The Islanders win 4 straight. The Devils are looking decent. The Giants, with a win this weekend, could maybe seriously take a move to at least put them up in like contention for the NFC East. Because we talked about this years ago when they were up for the NFC East and they could have only won 6 games, Now, maybe they actually, if they beat the Eagles again, that'll be twice this season. That's a better divisional record. Maybe they can be a legitimate threat the rest of the way, but they got to win Sunday. That being said, the Rangers They just got to start winning games, and they got to be consistent. And it is a wake-up call for not just the players, but the coaches too. I know you need time, but I have no patience anymore. And this is the problem. We don't have patience. We don't have patience. But why should we? When it's a crappy product, why should we have patience? I've watched crappy products for years. It's time to fix it. Let's go. All right. Again, thank you for checking out another episode of WFAN Daily with your host, Pete Hoffman, at Hoff WFAN. I will see you guys on the flip side, maybe tomorrow, if you want to watch on YouTube. If not, I'll catch you guys on next week. And there'll be episodes of Rico Bronya and all that other stuff all in the Odyssey app. So go check it out there. I appreciate you guys.